Then on the strand, with steeds and treasure and armor, their roomy and ring-dight ship was heavily laden. High its mast rose over Hrothgar's hoarded gems. A sword to the boat guard Beowulf gave, mounted with gold. On the mead bench, since he was better esteemed, that blade possessing heirloom old. Their ocean keel boarding, they drove through the deep, and Daneland left. A sea-cloth was set, a sail with ropes firm to the mast, the flood timbers moaned. Nor did wind over billows that wave swimmer blow across from her course. The craft sped on, foam-necked it floated forth o'er the waves, keel firm bound over briny currents, till they got them sight of the Geatish cliffs, home-known headlands. High the boat, stirred by winds, on the strand updrove. Helpful at haven the harbor guard stood, who long already for loved companions by the water had waited and watched afar. The second to last time we will hear that incredible music. Again, so grateful to Nari for giving us that music and for making it possible for us to have listened to that for the last, believe it or not, 2 years. Because today, everyone, welcome Arvanauts to a Tuesday stream, by the way, January 13th, 12:45 p.m. Eastern, 2026, etc., etc. Today is the epic conclusion of Beowulf Age of Heroes, and it has been a really fun campaign to be a part of, and it's been about 2 years. It lasted 2 years and brought us across many places along the Whale Road, but it comes to an end today. And I am, as always, there's a little bit of bittersweet feeling about that, but it also is excitement for what comes next, because, of course, next month we will be starting our Dragonbane campaign. As I mentioned, I had my session 0 over the weekend with the folks playing, including TariToons. So we'll be launching that next month, along with Prince Justin's new community D&D game called the 13th Icon. That will also be launching next month. So we got a bunch of new stuff coming in, but we do have to let something go, and Beowulf is going to be passing into the waves here. But before we get there, we have one more session to do, so we're going to do that today. Before we get there, just a couple of reminders about ways to support the channel. If you haven't done so, please follow the channel. If you haven't done so, Prince Justin, who's that? Who's that guy? Always good to see or not see, as relatively necessary, Prince Justin. Exclamation Point ArvTube is our YouTube channel. You can hang out with us in between streams. Please do join us over there. Subscription numbers are at an all-time high. What an all-time high over there, so you can join us for that. Discord, where you can hang out with the Arvanauts in between streams, is exclamation point Arvcord. Blue Sky, exclamation point ArvSky for all your microblogging needs. Website for this, arvanelleron.com. Financially, exclamation point ArvShop is our merchandise area where you can get a bunch of stuff relating to the channel, which also supports the channel and gives you cool swag as well. The Patreon is exclamation point ArvTreon. Really trying to build that back up into triple digits. You can get inspirations to help our players. You can also get cool stuff for yourself, like epic character backgrounds written for you, or epic poems written about you, or all that stuff. You can do that over there. Yeah, we're trying to get that back up into triple digits, move us towards various channel goals. Also, subbing to the channel is always appreciated. You get those custom sub badges and emotes to use here, there, and everywhere across Twitch, and you can get inspirations there as well. In addition to that, you can also trying to think about Okay, I was going to say I don't think anything dropped on my end. Also, you can support us on the publishing side. Exclamation Point Icarus. That's my graphic novel from Athos Arts. Exclamation Point Library is my Tales and Tomes from the Forbidden Library. That's my 5e adventure and sourcebook from Alligator Alley Entertainment. Currently out of print, in print, but available of course through digital form, and hopefully a second printing of that coming later this year. Also, of course, Exclamation Point Greyshade. Greyshade, Renegade, and Heretic, the Grey Assassin trilogy, critically acclaimed, award-winning. You can get those from Athos Arts at that link. You can also get the audiobooks of Greyshade and Renegade by our very own Trent Sparks. They are amazing. I highly recommend them. Trent did a great job. Heretic, the final audiobook, will be coming out in the next month or so. And, of course, you can pre-order the tabletop role-playing game of Greyshade, speaking of new things. Exclamation Point Greyshade, that is designed by our very own Brandon O'Brien, The Rising Tides, and coming out from Alligator Alley Entertainment sometime in the next couple of months. Very excited for that too. So you can pre-order that there as well. And as always, Exclamation Point BLM, Black Lives Matter, important to affirm and assert the significance and importance of Black lives. Exclamation Point Help Now, the World Health Organization page on suicide prevention. Important to reach out to others when you need help and reach out to others when they need help as well. And Exclamation Point Ukraine, UKRAINE, to help the people of Ukraine as they fight back against an illegal and illegitimate war with bravery and courage, and send the message that we will do so for others in that situation in the future. Just a quick schedule note, we are playing this today. We will then be over at GOG.com at 4 p.m. Eastern this afternoon playing more Breath of Fire 4 with Pen and Pixels 504, I think, 503, 504. And then we'll be back Thursday night with a special, our monthly playthrough of Gloomhaven. I'll be joined by my dear friend Zach Clay, and we'll be playing that on Thursday night. Then Saturday, we've got Expedition from the Mysterious Peaks coming at you. Next week, we have got Into the Dark, our gamebook illustration stream with Tari and myself, and then more Breath of Fire 4, then Community D&D, and then Metroid Prime 4 Beyond for a couple of times in a row, before moving into the last week of January, which is going to feature a whole bunch of stuff, including Patreon Fueled Chat Shows and Game of the Month, the conclusion of the final Scales of War, which is the second to last of the season of Eberron. In case you missed it, the 10th was pretty intense, so you do not want to miss that one. It's going to be pretty awesome. And we've got D&D with the Dice Roll continuing as well with Ghosts of Saltmarsh. So a lot of stuff going on. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait for any of it. But right now, it's my great pleasure and honor to bring in my awesome friend TariToons, who is ready to go. And I'm going to do this and unmute myself and then not unmute myself. I hope I was not muted. And unmute her. And last, bring us over to reveal. There she is. There indeed is TariToons, who's ready to go. And wants you to know she has very warm things to say about all of the new game manufacturers. Gearbox has done great work, and she just wants you to know that for all of the latest. I'm just kidding. What we talk about in the green room is wide ranging, chat. But Tari's with us for the epic conclusion of Beowulf: Age of Heroes. Good to see you, Tari. How are you? And how are you feeling about a finale that we're doing here? How you feeling about that?
Not to commit blasphemy on stream, but is this like God with us, but instead it's Tari with us?
Tari is with us, yes, exactly. What if Tari was one of us? Yeah. So hi. How are you feeling about things?
I'm very excited to see the finale, presumably. Unless this goes really south.
That's true. I guess if it goes way sideways, we're going to be having this conversation again, but I'm thinking it should be the conclusion.
Yeah, especially because I accidentally rushed us into the boss fight last session.
It was pretty funny. Like it was pretty much like Tari was just like, avoid all side quests, like just like straight to the front door of the mead hall. So yes. We're definitely there. How are you otherwise though?
I'm good. This is the first time I'm streaming this year, aren't I? Or was already on this year?
Let me think. Yeah, that's right. Because I've seen you, but that's because we did our session 0 that was off stream. So yeah, I think this is the first time. That's right.
Oh yeah, in that case, Happy New Year, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
We actually, you were not gonna believe it. We had a winter for 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks.
Wow.
1.5 weeks.
Actual snow, you mean? Like
Like half a meter of snow is what we're
wow.
talking. Like out of nowhere, it suddenly started snowing on January 2nd.
Wow.
And it just kept piling on. Now it's almost all gone again. But like, actually had to shovel snow each day, twice every day.
Wow.
Was
Were the
was
shovels in
beautiful.
functional shape after not being used for,
Oh,
God
I
knows
just
how
used a
long?
regular garden shovel.
Oh,
Don't
okay,
have
okay.
a snow shovel,
Okay.
which was good enough. And one of the neighbors lent me his proper snow shovel. So yeah. But yeah, it was actually really, really nice.
Oh,
Like
that's
the
cool.
neighbor's kids built like this really huge snowman that was like 1.5 meters tall.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
Tari's gonna, by the way, incidentally, chat. I'm gonna get this from Tari all the time because starting next month, all of the distances in Dragonbane are done in meters. So she's just gonna be like 1.5 meters. You know what that means, right, Arf? Right? You know what that is, right? Oh yeah, it's 3 meters away.
the height of like a 12-year-old child, I think.
Yeah. How many 12-year-old children was that snowman? Yeah, that's gonna be what they do.
Was I? How tall was I when I was 12? Probably taller than that because I was already 180 when I was like 14. So, which is why everybody always thought I was older than I was. Weird time when you're like 14 and everybody thinks you're 20.
Yeah,
you're so
Tari is
tall.
Tall. Can confirm. Have met Tari in real life. So,
like, I'm not even freakishly tall. I'm just
No.
like above average.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway. Now I'm under on like now since I live in the Netherlands. It's I noticed the difference now. I can't just see atop everybody at concerts anymore, which used to be a thing in Germany, because yeah, people are taller here on average.
The Dutch are taller, huh? Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, like tallest country in the world.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
To see over the dams or like what?
Yeah, no, I think it's because when there's flooding, so that their heads
Right.
will stick out over above the water.
Yeah, exactly. Jeez. Like tulips or Dutch people, they're all sticking out above, so you can see.
Yeah.
Well, but it is a finale today.
It is a finale.
So if all goes well, so I mean, I guess it'll be a finale either way. So it might not go well. We'll find out. And it's very appropriate, by the way, because my semester chat begins a week from this Thursday. And the first thing that I open up with in my fantasy fiction class is dun 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 Beowulf. So I will just have been finished with this, and then I will be teaching Beowulf again. So I am excited for that, and I'll make constant references to. I'll be like, as we understand from Genevieve's experience. Yes. I use the Seamus Heaney translation, which there are some grognards who don't like that, and they call it shameless Heaney because they think he screws around with things too much. But I like a poet translating a poet, and that's what you get there. But anyway, yes. So I am.
I don't know shit about quality of translations or whatever. This one is by some guy named John Earl or Early, however you pronounce it.
Yeah, I think that's one of the more standard ones. There's a new one with Maria Devana Headley, which is good. Which that one I love because that one she translates the opening one as bro. Is the first one,
yeah, you told
which is
me.
pretty funny.
But
anyway.
yeah, I just have this one because that's what they had at the local bookstore. So
yeah, no, it works.
It was like, yeah.
But
it
yeah,
was like
so we're
$9 or something. I don't know.
Yeah, highly worth it. I mean, if anyone here loves fantasy, and I can't imagine who here would love fantasy, but if you love fantasy fiction,
only hard sci-fi for me.
Right. I demand only hardcore sci-fi romance, please. No, if
romance.
Yeah, you combine those together, and
No. Terrible.
Listen, it's a whole different meaning. I was about to make a joke about hard sci-fi, but I'll leave that alone.
Oh, I see.
I see what you did there.
Oh, then we get into Metal Gear fanfiction territory.
I'll bet. But what I was going to say was that if you enjoy Western fantasy at all, at least reading some translation of Beowulf at some point is really helpful because it gives you a sense of how everything led to everything else. Now, again, I want to emphasize Western fantasy, okay? This doesn't have anything to do with Eastern fantasy and the numerous other examples of fantasy.
That's the one with the cowboys. Howdy, howdy.
Yeah, different kind of West. But you know what I mean? Like not global, right? But for the sort of what we imagine of as the European West, the Western hemisphere, so to speak, that sort of fantasy, Beowulf is hugely important. And so, oh God, the Beowulf movie. Listen, Angelina Jolie as as Grendel's mother in high heels is an abomination. And I used to say, I was like, well, like the scriptwriter does so many other things well. But since the scriptwriter was Neil Gaiman,
Yeah, we don't talk about the
now we don't need to
scriptwriter
talk
anymore.
about the scriptwriter of that anymore.
Used to love that movie unironically. Not anymore. I don't.
Oh boy, yeah.
Let's not. Let's switch subjects.
Let's switch subjects back to something more enjoyable, which is this, the epic conclusion. So who are you playing today, Tari?
Some gal or another. No, her name is Genoveva, who hails from the city of Xanten, or the kingdom of Xanten, so to speak.
Mhm.
City kingdom. Town kingdom? I don't know. And she used to be basically a housekeeper, a serf, a gopher at the court of King. God, what did I call him? Sigiheri? Yeah, Sigiheri.
You called him
Sigiheri.
Yes.
Yes, that's what I wrote down.
That's right. But why do I have Cartesia and Careful? Okay, I know why. Never mind. No, I know why. Never mind.
You're talking about a different queen, a different court. But yeah,
thing.
That's what she used to do until her best friend, since childhood, Runselt, decided to set sail and go on grand adventures, and she tagged along, and saw her best friend go over a cliff on a lonely island in the North Sea.
Yeah.
And since somebody had to lead her people, she picked up, both proverbially and literally, Hunsel's sword, and has been leading this company since.
This band, these happy few.
As
I will show them.
And now the fates have led her and her friends to yet another lonely island, and this one is haunted, protected, co-inhabited by a giant made of stone.
That's right. A giant made
like
of stone who is not a fan for some reason. Excuse me. Also, thank you to Triffity Mats for the 70 months of Tier 1 support. Good to see you, Triffid, as always. Thank you. Only 2 months removed from 6 years, which is hard to believe. But as I am a giant fan of Triffity Mats, I see what you did there. But I am excited for the conclusion of this because it may, tie off here some loose ends. We will see. But before we do that, we should talk a little bit what happened in our last session. And what happened in our last sessions, basically, is that Genevieve has come to this island, which seems to have been cut off mysteriously from the outside world for some reason. And it turns out that the reason is that there is a guardian who, let me see if I can find the image of said guardian. Oh, I know why, because I put it on the roll 20 right here. There we go. This guardian, whose name is Flodward, is responsible for a lot of problems. And from what Genevieve has been able to determine, this used to be a guardian for the entire island that would largely follow the will and the opinions of, as I move things over a bit to show you the rest of the picture, these two people. I'm covering over Tari for just 1 second, but it'll only be a minute, chat. Nobody panic. Okay. This person who is the queen, and the person who is allegedly in charge of all of this, the one who has been trying to kind of lead her people, Queen Beswa, has basically has a difficult bedside manner, might be the way to approach it, and was in particular freaked out about a particular kind of animal that she believed was responsible for the killing of her daughter Echthin, who you see right there. The problem with Echthin is, or the problem with Beswa, I should say, is that the person or the creature that she thought was responsible were a series of sharks. And one of the things that Genevieve noticed when she first arrived here is that there were a lot of shark corpses all over the place. A lot of shark carcasses everywhere that
Artemis.
she looked. Yeah. That were being torn up and torn to shreds. And it turns out perhaps the reason for that might have been that Beswa believed that her daughter Echthen had been taken and killed by these sharks. As it turns out, though, Echthen was in fact not dead. And Echthen, who did not die, to use the Tiny Tim example, Echthen was not dead. And Genevieve was able to, thanks to having a conversation with this creature, the basking shark. Let me just increase that for you all. There you go, the basking shark. Found out, along with that, and also, not Erknen, where do I have the guy who was the... it wasn't Lamwin. Wait a minute. The Sealy guy.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. I'll find it.
Nikor.
Yeah, Nikor, that's right. Nikor discovered that it was in fact not the case that the basking shark had kidnapped, that it was instead the case that Erknen had been taken down to this underground cavern, basically by Flodweird. And Flodweird has not hurt Erknen, in fact took care of Erknen, but also wouldn't let Erknen leave. So Genevieve and her followers managed to rescue Echthen and bring her back to her mother, except on the back of the basking shark, except that Flodweird, after beating the hell out of the basking shark, then chased them basically all the way back to the island. What? Are you like... you're
not on the back, in the mouth.
In the mouth of, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Of the basking shark. We were delivered back to the land, and Flodweird basically was storming after them. Genevieve brought her followers and Eochthen all back to the mead hall, and just as they are coming into the inside, the door is open, just as they're coming inside the door, outside is Flodweird, who has come onto the land, and Genevieve's hope was that she might have a pleasant reunion between her mother and Eochthen, and that maybe that would allow things to get resolved with Flodweird. But instead, what seems to have happened is that, at least initially, is that when her mother saw Eochthen, first her eyes brimmed with tears, second her hands curled into fists, and then she said, "Perhaps next time you'll listen to me," through her angry tears. So it's a lot of lovely family drama, all the while a massive Colossus stone thing is ready to start beating the hell out of the longhouse in which the party is, which Genevieve and her followers are standing. So that is where we bring things together. We've got family drama and we've got Flodweird drama. And all of that, we shall see what happens as we go through here. So now I'm going to move back to the actual map that we see. Actually, I probably don't need to do that now that I think of it. We might as well just keep the main people, the main principles of this up and visible, so everyone knows what it is that we're dealing with here. Okay, so those were the last lines. Hi, Nonstop. Also getting a lot of sharks killed. Yes, there were also a lot of sharks killed in the process. Many sharks were, the thing where it says after a movie, no animals were harmed in this production. Lots of sharks were harmed in the production of Flodweird here, I'm afraid to say. So we will see.
All sharks were harmed.
All sharks were harmed.
The making of this production.
Yeah, even the basking shark is pretty badly hurt after trying to get you back and then protect you against them. All right, so with all that said, I like this picture. Now we've got Genevieve, the mom, the daughter, and we've got Flodweird sitting in the background. So let's fire up some music, and then I want to ask, you are just inside the door, Genevieve, of this longhouse. The people inside the house are terrified, and the mother and Eochthen, Beswa and Eochthen, are just sort of staring at each other, and you're inside the mead hall. Also, one reminder, too, just one last note, which is, this is a note for you. The last time that that you saw this, you had mentioned that you were suspicious about the stone symbol above the throne that Beswa was sitting on. So I'm just reminding you of that because, that was the case.
Yeah, it's the ear of stone.
Ding! Product placement.
Ding! Yeah.
Brought to you by Ears of Stone.
The thing is, I definitely remember having had a plan last time. Emphasis on had. Past tense.
Well, one thing better involved closing the door because he's going to punch his way into the house in a minute.
Is the door even gonna stop him? I mean, he's like, how tall?
He's
how many houses tall?
Right, like 3 longhouses tall. I mean, not lengthwise houses, but
No.
still. It
Yeah.
will not hold for long, but it might hold better than just an open air.
So where's the queen and her daughter?
Both inside the door, both staring at each other. Aek then with sort of, I don't know, you'd have to make an insight check to see how she's feeling. You don't need an insight check to know that Beswa is like very conflicted, simultaneously like deeply moved, but also really angry.
And most of the townspeople are in the longhouse now,
Yes.
right?
That's right.
Where are my followers?
They are with you.
I told them to. Didn't I tell them to run into opposite directions?
You did. Yes, that is true. Actually, yes. But I think you kept one of them with you. And I'm trying to remember who it was, because I don't know that you told all 4 of them to split, but maybe you did.
Well, it would have either been Ibn Galib or Guy.
I think you kept Guy with you, and you told the other 3. Although, so they all do. Rick Mod hobbling off in another direction.
Well, like probably Ibn Galib would probably just pick her up and throw her over his shoulder. He's probably twice as tall as her. Too,
yeah, you hear her cackling as it. So they have run off. It incidentally, I think it's far enough along for you to know that it has paid. Floatware has paid 0 attention to anything other than the longhouse.
Yeah, I guess like while she and like probably some of the townsfolk would like also just like instinctively try and help her with that, like trying to bar the door.
Okay.
With like a bench or whatever or a table. While she is doing that, she would like shout at the queen, like, "You have to tell him to stop."
And so okay. Let me have you make. Now you don't have any inspiration points. Your followers have 2. I also have 2. No. But I haven't used them yet. We'll see. And I don't know whether
we do have beautiful watchers in chat right now who also
that is
have...
true. Who may be able to do that.
Yes.
I would need you to make, please.
Oh, where's my character sheet?
I'd say let me have you make. I think I don't think it needs to be a strength check. Actually, I think let's say you know what? I'm going to have you make an intelligence check for me. Or no, you know what? I take that back. Perception. And the reason for this is that figuring out what to put in front of the door that might be most effective in blocking it for longest would be based upon what you're able to see around you. So let me have you make a perception check.
Yes, 1 second. Roll 20 is being slow.
Also, since Guy is helping you do this, if you want to use a follower inspiration, I can give you advantage on this check.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to you.
Once my character sheet loads.
Yeah, Roll20 was a little slow this morning.
I'm just gonna refresh Roll20. I don't suppose you know my perception what was it? Persuasion?
Perception.
Perception bonus?
You could try to persuade the door to stay closed, but I think it might be more effective.
Just roll manually, but I don't know my stats.
There it is.
Ha ha! We loaded.
Okay. Looks like you got a 4 on perception.
+4. Ooh, that's an 11.
An 11. Okay.
Can I push my roll?
Can I push? That's something you're about to learn about next month, chat.
Yes.
But no, not in this game, I'm afraid. So, all right. So
can I use a hero point? That's Mutant and Masterminds.
Yeah, not so much. Okay, you were doing this at advantage, right? Were you using theoretically, or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to announce. Yes.
That's okay. Just gonna 1 inspiration point left for the follower.
Yes.
I would say that check is probably enough to be able to figure out kind of the basics about like what sort of like you see a couple of medium-sized tables that can be sort of propped up against the indoor handles and like things like that to sort of bar the door. And the doors are pretty strong as longhouse doors go, except that, no long house door is going
Long
to.
horse.
Long horse would be its own thing. Winning. No. No long horse door. No long house door would be able to withstand the beating from a creature like Flowbird for long, but enough that probably you can get some basics from it. So rather than the sort of mechanical version of this is if you had done super well, it would have extended the time more. If you had done poorly, it would have reduced the time. Instead, you get basically in the middle here. So at the moment, you are dealing with about, roughly speaking, 3 rounds of time, because as the door closes, there is this and the whole longhouse shudders under the blow, the first blow from Floatware. Dust kind of rains down from the roof, and people sort of shriek and scream. A couple of children cry out, and they kind of huddle next to their mothers. And Beswa is still staring at Eochthin, and Beswa is just sort of doesn't seem to react at all, even to the smashing sound. Is just sort of staring at her daughter and is just sort of just glaring at her one way or the other. And Eochthin, as I say, her expression is kind of inscrutable. It's hard to tell what exactly it is, but it seems like Beswood didn't hear what you yelled at her, or at least not yet. The door is now sealed to the extent you can, though, so you can do something else if you want.
Yeah, in that case, she would run over, to stare down and go, "You have to tell it now, or we're all gonna be dead."
Tell it what? Beswa says, not looking at you.
Your daughter is clearly alive. Tell it to stop.
And she sort of she stares and she says, "What does my daughter have to do with this? She's alive, no thanks to Floatware, no thanks to any of these things."
Yes, thanks to Floatware, you protected her.
And kind of stares at her and says, "Well, but I," and she seems extraordinarily confused. She says, "Well, and Eochthin is just sort of you could see her lip quivering, but other than that, isn't saying anything. Again, longhouse shudders.
You swore an oath, did you not?
Yes, to protect my people. What can I do under this?" The walls shake a little bit.
Something got misinterpreted along the lines.
What do you mean?
Just tell it. It takes too long to explain. Just tell it to stop, and then I will explain everything.
Tell it to stop? Well, and she says, well, and then all of a sudden, as if she sort of is kind of woken up, a little bit of dust rains down on her and her daughter, and she says, "Oh, yes," and she grabs her daughter by the arm, and she says, "You need to hide. You need to hide now." And she it just sort of starts pulling her away, and Eochthin, you can see for a minute, opens her mouth like she's going to say something, but then Queen Beswa says, "Silence, silence, girl. You need to hide." And Eochthin just kind of deflates, just kind of doesn't say anything, and sort of looks at you a little bit it's hard to say what she's thinking as she looks at you, but
you can't just tell her no, she says to the daughter.
And you're saying that you say to Eochthin?
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question. If you want to, do you want to try to if you want to convince Eochthin to try to speak up to her mother?
Yes.
2 possible ways to do that.
Yes.
You could try to make an insight check to kind of figure out how best to deal with Eochthin, or you could be like, "Yo, snap out of it," intimidate her basically into doing the same thing. The first one would be an insight check. The second would be an intimidation check.
I'm bad at both of those.
And another thing is, I'll let you pitch another, if you want to pitch another sort of skill based upon what you know of Eochthin and her mother. If you want to pitch another skill to me, I'll entertain those. If you could think of another thing that I'll remind her of this, or I'll use this skill to tell her about this, I would accept that as a possibility.
I don't think I have anything. Because neither of them know me well. I've literally been here for a day.
Hi, Echo. And that's awesome. Sounds good.
No, I think I want to use insight.
Okay.
Does anybody have inspiration? An inspiration for me?
Do we have any inspiration? Yeah, because
I get just a +1 on that one.
yeah,
I'm
and your
bad at
follower
both of
can't help
these.
with this because Guy is not exactly Mr. Insight. I'm afraid.
No.
So, chat, do we have an inspiration? These are the inspiration folks that we have in here at the moment. Let's see.
Yay! Thanks, Prince Justin.
I don't think Prince Justin has one. Prince Justin used it.
No.
Prince Justin used it in our battle against in Eberron. So unfortunately, Prince Justin has used it up. I do know that
Who
Nonstop
cares
was
about
here.
Eberron?
Yeah, who cares exactly? I know Nonstop was here though. Channel points. That's true. The channel point inspirations have not been used up yet. So because we have 2 of them for this month. So you could do one of those as well. Okay. Yes, because you do have an Arvanite inspiration left. All right. So Prince Justin now is inspired Genevieve. Thank you, Prince Justin. So that leaves us with one of those left.
I'm gonna use that now.
Okay.
On investigation, you said, yeah?
No, no, I said insight.
Oh, insight. Insight, sorry. Oh yeah, I needed that. That's
Woo! That was
13.
13. So she okay, this is what we'll say. When you say this to her, and what exactly and your words to her are what? What do you say to her? To Erknan.
Basically, she stands there with her arms out like this. It's difficult to show on camera. Like this. Goes, you can't just tell her no. You don't have to do what she tells you to.
And Bess was kind of like, don't tell my daughter what she can do with me. And the again, the longhouse shudders. And Erknan sort of looks at you, and you can see her eyes are brimming with tears. But she kind of mutely shakes her head. Now, what I'll tell you mechanically here, Genevieve, is so you had basically 3 of these rounds. I will tell you one of these rounds is now used up. So there are 2 rounds left over. Now, you can try this again, and if you spend your turn doing more words again, you'll lower the difficulty of the check. But you haven't gotten there yet. Like, your first attempt was not enough. So it's one of those, you have a decision to make about whether you want to do that. But it will lower the difficulty if you take another turn to do this and add some more cool words. Guy, by the way, is at this point over, like, with the hearth guards trying to hold, like, in the Two Towers film where they show the doors, like, beginning to crack this way, or hell, Return of the King, for that matter, that you can see it's starting to crack, and, like, Yeah.
Then she would turn to Beswa and go, are you really gonna have all of your people die over this? You're not gonna have a kingdom to rule over anymore when you're all dead.
And she looks at you and she says, but what can I do? It won't listen to me.
Yes, it listens to you.
How? How would it listen to me?
Well, I assume through that thing, and she, like, points at the big ammonite that's, like, hanging behind the throne.
So the queen, like, looks in that direction, and again, and everyone is like, you hear more screaming from the children. And as you sort of look that way, and she sort of looks at it and stares at it, and then she looks back at you. She says, you think the stone has something to do with this?
Yes, obviously.
And she says, but that's an heirloom. And she kind of looks back. Now,
don't question it. Just go to it and say stop.
But she kind of looks over at it and says, like, she stares at this thing, and she says, she sort of looks at you, and then she shakes her head, and she walks over to it, still with her daughter, like, stumbling after her because she still got her by the arm. And then she sort of looks up at it, and she says, leave us alone. I'm commanding you to leave us alone. longhouse shakes again, and she turns back to you and she says, "See, it doesn't do anything. Just speaking into it, nonsense."
Yorknin, you try.
And Yorknin kind of like, "All right, now, you have a choice. You can try to work on Yorknin, as I said, and try to lower the difficulty check, or you can try to persuade Beswa to give you the stone and do whatever you want with it. Whether that means giving it to Yorknin, I don't know, throwing it at the stone, putting it in the fire, putting it on your helmet, making a hat, like whatever. You have a choice of one of those two things." I mean,
Well,
I should say you could do other choices too, Tari. I shouldn't say that. I don't mean to be binary about it.
I could also choose to die.
Exactly. Well, no, I mean you could fight it. I mean, there's all kinds of things. I don't want to limit you, but I'm saying those are two things with the stone that you're imagining right now. That's
well, like the thing is that Genoveva isn't the one who swore any oaths, so
true.
The giant is not going to listen to her. It has to be either Yorknin or Beswa because of like the whole ancestral oath thing. I don't remember the details. So like I have like written down from last time. Is seawall strong as its oath? Like I think the basking shark told her that.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
So what I'm also thinking is like, what if we break that oath and that would also make him go away?
Yeah, I mean that's true. Multiple possibilities here, maybe.
Maybe, yeah, the maybe is like the big issue.
I know.
Because it suggests to me that he's just gonna turn weak, like lose its strength. I
just saw you.
So if the
Tari does this to me too many times. I just looked up to see that you had drawn an actual long horse on the picture. I was like, what the hell? I was not paying attention. I'm paying attention to you. And then all of a sudden I'm like, why is there a long red horse? I'm like, oh. Anyway. Sorry. Go on.
Oh, that took you way too long.
I wasn't. I'm in the moment,
I had literally
okay?
already forgotten.
I'm focused on our role play, and then all of a sudden this goofy red horse.
I don't have any weapons that I could use to break the stone. So, I don't suppose there's like a pickaxe or something, or a stick of dynamite somewhere laying around, or something like that. Conveniently.
Did you? Well, what I want to double check is, didn't you pick up stuff for this? Like, do you remember this that I just put on stream?
Stream.
Because I didn't put it up there for no reason. I know that...
That's a blade. That's gonna... Like, blades and stone do not go like, you know, like with stone, paper, scissors, stone beats scissors, because it ruins blades.
Are you sure it's a blade?
Yes.
Look at the end of it.
Do you mean the hilt?
No, the other end. It's curved, right? But...
Yes.
Well, this is what a chisel does
blade?
too, you know. A chisel is made of metal and
chisel?
has an edge. No, no. Stone. You can chisel stone with something that looks just like that.
Okay.
But I'm just letting you know because I remember that I thought you got this somehow.
Yeah, no, I definitely remember seeing this. Just like looking at my notes right now.
But again, the point is...
Giant reflects the queen's anger. Might go on island if Genoveva isn't careful. Oh yeah, right. That's literally what happened.
I guess that happened. And the other thing I want to mention about this too is that like that also, as you suggested, that's one of several possibilities. Destroying the stone is going to lead to one set of outcomes, presumably. Doing something else might lead to another set. You know, like there's all kinds of things to think about too, which I know. I know you're like, great, more stuff, but...
Where did I get this thing again?
That I don't remember where you got the chisel from, but I'm pretty sure
because I haven't written it down. I know that you've shown it to me, so I'm pretty sure I got it even though I didn't write it down.
Might have been that Nikor might have shown you where it was, because there was the fact that you discovered the seal skin, which is how you knew that he was who he was, that he was a Selkie, I believe.
No, not a Selkie, like specifically.
Oh, that's right.
That's
The
what
opposite
I
of a
thought he
the
was
opposite of a Selkie,
something
right.
else.
But anyway, and so I think it might have been through him, but I know that you got it because that's why I put the picture up and then saved it. I do that when you actually get these things.
Yeah. Nikor was a species.
Wig is his
name was
though.
Wig.
His wig, this is his picture
yeah.
that I just put up. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm remembering. It's been so long.
But again, you may not even want to go that direction. I don't know.
I think the queen is a dead end. Because she's too much in her own head. Yeah, I think I'm gonna attempt to destroy the ear. God, that is gonna horribly backfire because that's gonna be our only way to tell the giant to stop, and then he's gonna kill everybody. We can't do anything.
Yeah, see, I like you thinking through this out loud.
I hate this. I hate this.
And by hate, you
this.
mean love, agency, stakes. But also, I mean, you know, there's still Eorknen. You could always just get a long horse and escape long ways. No.
Yes.
Again, more of a crack in the door. You could ask chat.
I guess she goes over to Eorknen, puts a hand on her shoulder.
Tears running down Eorknen's face now.
Okay. Either you or your mom are the only ones who can stop this. I need you to sincerely ask him to stop and believe what you say. Like, you know that he doesn't want to hurt you. He's been protecting you this entire time.
And Beswa says, "Nonsense, he captured you. He kept you. He exposed you to those awful sharks."
Hold your mouth.
And she like glares at you. Some of the people in the hall who are not already terrified sort of look over a little bit at you, although they immediately go back to being terrified the next time a hit hits the door. Eorknen sort of stares.
You can do this.
She looks at you.
I know your mom doesn't believe in you, but I do.
Okay. I need you to make another insight check. So the difficulty is easier now. Now, clean slap that queen.
That would be the next step. First words, and if those don't work, then we can
insight and let's
handsy.
Now chat again. Do we have you want to ask for another inspiration on this?
Yes, please.
So chat, is there another inspiration in the offing? Now there is one channel point one left for this month. Other than that, the only one who can save us right now is Nonstop, or if someone subscribes at the tier 2 level right now, I can do that too. Hi, Callie. Big Boss, you have one? You can do you want to can you redeem it, Big Boss, for me, just so we see it officially? Yeah, for 50K.
Kelly, like the whole Queen's Anger thing, that is just a theory I wrote down 2 sessions ago. Like, I don't know for sure. That's just like my presumption.
Would knocking the Queen out help or hurt?
Yeah.
It's a very good question.
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay. So, Big Boss, yeah, if you can just click on the little thing on your screen that lets you redeem it. There it is. Lovely.
Yay!
Now, watch. See, what's going to happen is Expedition this weekend is going to go, "We need help. Are there any channel points?" They're like, "No, we used them for Beowulf." And then they're going to say about you what you said about Everon. Like, who cares about Beowulf? Yeah, exactly. Okay, so you're doing this insight check at Inspiration. I'm actually going to give you +1 as well because of your words. So, +1 at Inspiration.
A 17.
That's a lot better than when you were doing it at 8.
Yeah.
So, she sort of stares up at you, and then she sort of is, and her mother is like, "Don't listen to them, child. It's just more strangers telling us what to do. They can't." And then she sort of like looks back at you, and there's the classic, to jump way out of genre for a moment, Vader looking back and forth from Luke to the Emperor, right? Like, and then she says, "Mother, I'm not at fault. And she rips her arm away from the queen. And this time, terror or not, everyone is just like, she says, the seawall listened to you and it trusted you. And now it's hurting people because that's the only way it knows how to keep them safe. And this hush falls over Wayfarer's Rest. And the next time the boom hits and the doors crack where the guards are literally and Guy are pushed back from the inside of the door, everyone is like, still staring. Yorknan says, you were trying to protect me, Mother, but all you did was hurt. You don't listen enough, and you get too frightened for me, and you made the seawall think the only way to save me was to keep everything else away. Why don't you listen? And Beswa is like, so Beswa looks from the daughter to you as the door again cracks even further, and Guy at this point gives you this look under his visor that's like, like, it's just like we're in big trouble. Beswa looks down at her daughter, and then she says, but she sits down on her throne. All I wanted to do was help you. And Erikman says, I know that, Mother, I know, but you need to listen. Genevieve is telling the truth, and she points at you. You know the only way to do things is you have to tell it that what happened and why. And Beswa stares at her daughter, and then she looks up at you and wipes a tear from her eye, and she says, this is the only way to save my daughter is to tell that thing what happened? She seems to be saying this to you, Genevieve.
Well, I believe that only either one of you can properly tell it to stop.
But which one? Which one of us? Beswa says.
I think what matters is the conviction behind it.
And the doors blow open. Guy goes flying back along with the guards. Right? And like half of the door is stove in, and this enormous stone hand rips up like a portion of the roof, and everyone just obviously shrieks in horror. And it stares over you, and it like glares down with its red eyes, its matted black hair, seaweed hair sort of falling down along its life. And Beswa sort of looks down at her daughter, and Erikman sort of grabs her mother's hand, and she says, We'll do it together, Mother, you and me. And Flodweird takes one step forward into the hall, bits of wood flying everywhere. And Beswa looks at her daughter and you, and then takes the stone thing, which is pretty heavy, off of the wall. And she says, I'm sorry. This was a mistake. Flodweird, this was a mistake. I was trying to protect my daughter, and I thought I was trying to help my people. I'm sorry. I'm wrong. I was wrong. Do you hear me? I was wrong. And Eorknan says, but she meant well. She meant well. And she takes the ear of stone and looks at you, Genevieve, and she hands it to you. And she says, Genevieve here knows what we should do. And Flodweird stops, and he just stares at you, Genevieve, and at the ear, like he's either listening or waiting for something.
Well, here goes nothing. She lays it on the floor in front of her.
And it's not attacking.
Reaches into her bag and get the chisel out.
And Erikman says, wait. Don't destroy it. You'll hurt him. And Flodweird is like just standing there.
Isn't this stone what binds him here? I want to set him free.
And Erikman points at his head. And
Oh, it's a literal ear.
if you look at, well, let's see. Let's have you make a perception check, please.
Yeah, okay. I thought this was just a metaphorical ear. Perception, you said, yeah?
Yeah. Got any super glue?
Oh,
Ooh, look at that.
Oh, 23.
That's a clutch perception roll. Yes, on the side of its head, and I wonder if you can even... Yes, you can. Okay. It's going to look a little strange, though. But if you look here on where I'm pinging on Roll20.
Yes.
Over here, do you see this? Oh, chat can't see this. Hold on. Otherwise, it's not going to make any sense. Hold on, chat. Wait. I'm a professional. I know where my screen is. Okay, here we go. So here, if you look at the left side, sorry, your left, its right. This here, right? Now you look at this side. And finally,
Yeah, I'm looking.
And finally, if you look at this. This here is not symmetrical. There's something on the right side of its head that is not on the left side of its head.
I see. Okay, yeah, then I'm gonna put the chisel, like I just gotta drop it on the floor and
Okay.
pick up the ear again. How heavy is this thing anyway?
It's
Can I even lift that?
yes. Oh yeah.
Oh,
You can lift it, but it's definitely a little heavy, but like even Eorknen was able to lift it. But it's heavy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna pick it up and walk out to the giant.
Guy, as you're walking, sort of comes up to you like from the like when it stands up, he's kind of bruised. And he comes over and he says, Genevieve, this thing could kill you one swipe.
Yeah, I know. Don't have to tell me that.
By the way, behind it now, in the ruins of the doors, you can now see Galib and Mundir and Rikmad all sort of standing at a bit of a distance, but like staring at you, obviously helpless to help you because they're behind. They can't get to you. Anyway, so Guy sort of stands there and he draws his weapon and sort of just stands like waiting for something, even though like I mean, you're facing this thing. And the creature still is sort of just there slightly swaying back and forth.
Yeah, she goes to it, and then like holds up the stone like this over her head and like beckons it to lower its head or wherever the stone would go.
And the creature sort of, and Eorknen comes up and says, "It's all right. Lower its head. Lower your head. It's okay." And Flodweird like lowers its head, so suddenly you find yourself within range of its face, which itself is about 5 feet. So I don't know what that works out to in meters. A lot of meters. No. How many feet is a meter again?
I don't know.
Chad, help me out here. How many feet is a meter? It's 1.5 meters. Thank you, Callie.
Okay.
1.5 meters in the face, and these red glowing eyes. And so it lowers its head. 3 feet. A meter is 3 feet. Okay. So yeah. So that's right. About 5 feet. So about 1.5 meters. Yep. Thank you. Okay. So, so it lowers its head, and you can just, from inside, you can hear like a rumbling even in its body.
She waves over Guy. Yeah, I need a hand.
Guy sort of like turns in your direction, like, and is like holding his spear and kind of looks confused.
You take the rope out of my bag.
He puts the spear back behind him, and then he goes over and takes the rope out of your bag, like eyes fixed on the creature.
So like basically she would like try to put the ear into like the socket, I guess.
It seems broken away, yeah.
Yeah, and then like use the rope to like basically wrap it, like to basically affix it in place.
Okay.
It's like a bit difficult to imagine right now what exactly the shape situation here is, but like would like choose whatever seems most appropriate, most effective to like bind the ear in place.
Dexterity check, please.
I freak.
Doesn't need to be. It's not a super hard one, but
you say that. 5. She does get help, Becky.
That's true. She does have. Well, actually, and do you want to use Guy's inspiration? That's his last follower point.
Right. Yes, I do.
All right.
Yeah,
but I use my 2 inspiration points and the monster pushes you away. No, I don't do that.
Yeah,
because it's silly. Okay. Yeah, with the inspiration.
Would you ever do anything?
You wouldn't have done it with a 5. But
no,
the 18 is different. So you are able to loop it, and there's this odd silence for the couple of minutes it takes to do this, as everyone is just sort of like staring at Flodward, who's like, his whole body is in the ruined top half basically of the longhouse. And you move the rope around and tie it, and then he kind of like sort of once you've finished it, Ichthen and Beswa Beswa comes up next to Ichthen and puts her hand on her shoulder. And she says, "I'm sorry." And she looks down at Ichthen, and Ichthen looks at you and says, "Do we tell him to leave or tell him to stay, but not the way he was before, the right way? What should we do?"
Ask him what he wants.
And so she looks up and she says, "Do you want to stay, Flodward?" And Flodward says, and then it sort of looks around and it lifts its fists up, and for a moment Guy is like running for its spear, and then he lowers his hands and picks up some of the stone and rubble, and he and starts moving it around, and soon you see that he has piled up the debris and the rubble into one space. The roof piece that was hanging loosely, he takes off and puts neatly on the pile. He clears out the door so that, people are able to enter and leave, and then stands up and turns and then looks back over his shoulder and then and goes back out into the sea. And you can see his body gradually sort of disappear into the sea beyond. And there's just sort of a stunned silence, and then you hear a little bit of crying, and you see that Beswa and Eochthen are embracing each other. Let's talk a little bit about what happens. First of all, what do you want to do, Genevieve? And then we're going to talk about implications.
I guess she would go back into the longhouse, look if there's anything to drink, just grab a cup, go sit down and just unwind.
Like sitting on the pile of rubble almost, yeah.
Yeah, so she find something to sit on.
And so your followers join the same way. So let's talk a little bit about what happens. First of all, the shark dredger, Flodward, is no longer a threat. Flodward has decided to stay, and this could have ended many different ways. It could have ended with Flodward being killed. It could have ended with Flodward leaving, or it could have ended with Flodward staying. And we'll talk about the implications of staying, but I want to mention a couple of the characters here. First of all, Genevieve, you are richly rewarded by Beswa. Absolutely richly rewarded. You are, let's see, 5th level, yeah. So you receive 12 pounds of silver
Nice.
For having kept this thing alive. You do not, however, get the additional. I just want to mention. I think it's funny. If you manage to solve this before it breaks through the door, you would have gotten more silver. So there is some silver they have to use to fix the doors. Oh, I know who it is who gave you the. I know who it is who gave it to you. Aorkna did. Aorkna
gave you the chisel?
Gave you the chisel, yeah.
Ah,
but as sort of a last resort type of thing. She was the one who knew what it was. That's why. That's the first thing to note. Yes, so many armbands. Exactly right.
But basically, what's my armor class now that I'm like completely decked out?
Yeah, I know
armor?
exactly. Now it's like right. It's like episode 2 of The Mandalorian where he's got the full Beskar now, and everyone's just like, damn,
yes.
Like that type of thing. Yeah, it looks very impressive. Now that you have the silver, can she murder it? What? Phased out? What? I can't believe you would violate the code of Beowulf and The Witcher and all good monster honor stories that she would actually do that. So Genevieve wins a lot of challenge coins. Amen to that.
Skidofefa, not Runesild. Runesild would have killed
That's
this
true. All right.
Just because, like, whoa, cool monster. Let's get its head.
Let's talk about a few of these people. First of all, Lamwin, the lookout, resumes his post on the shore. Although he shows more discretion about who he welcomes to the island. Those of you who didn't see the opening sequence of this, Lamwin saved the party, saved Genevieve and her ship and crew by like giving her some food and saying, this is a guest of the island. Except by doing that, it also meant that Genevieve was trapped until she figured out how to get the hell off the island. So Lamwin does, however, learn the basics of wielding a spear. So that's a positive thing for Lamwin. Ainsworth the Scope composes a new poem, Genevieve, about your triumph over the shark dredger. And as travelers and traders begin to start to visit Hreoden, the tale spreads to distant corners of the Whale Road with implications that we'll come to. But XP. She's getting XP. It'll be fine. So there's that. Cuthbert. Whoops, not that one. Cuthbert, there we go, the steward, fusses over Aorknan during the days after her return, stuffing her with as much food as her stomach can handle. He never, from what you can tell, is going to meddle with Aorknan's relationship to her mother, but is the sort of person that Aorknan will go to and share stories with when she needs to, as a sympathetic ear, which might not have been the case had things gone differently. Wassa, you may remember that Wassa the Waylaid was the hero that you met who had tried to escape the island multiple times. And she...
The one who tried to race me.
That's right. She comes to you and she says, well, this is a couple of days later. Now that that's all over, I want to thank you for your hospitality and for freeing us from this threat. And I'm afraid now, and with deference to you, Majesty, and she kind of inclines her head to Queen Beswa, it's time that I be moving on. I would like to have some way of getting off the island, and I thought perhaps I've done enough work that I might be granted a small boat, a rowboat, anything like that. And the Queen sort of says, well, I imagine we can get you a fishing boat. You've done a fair bit, Wassa. Wassa says, I could just swim it, I suppose, but it would be probably kind of hard. And she looks at you and she says, you know, we could race out there. It's been done before. I've heard of heroes who raced each other. There was, what was his name? Brekka, and someone who named rhymes with some Beocat or something. Anyway, they swam. They raced each other. What about you? And she claps you on the shoulder, almost knocking you over. We could do it.
I think I left my swimming suit on my other boat. Maybe another time.
You just don't want to be weighed down by this new fancy armor of yours. And she says, all right, fine. It'll be some other time, but don't be aware that when I come to you next, I want this challenge accepted. And she smiles and then nods to you, and she strides off in the direction of the fishing village. You hear later that Wassa does, in fact, buy a fishing boat and is seen sailing off from Hreoden. Whether that'll be the last time anyone sees her, don't necessarily know. That's Wassa. Wig, our Nikor guy, keeps his secret, unless that is you were to let people know. Like if you're like, hey,
Oh
look,
yeah,
everybody,
totally. I'm gonna tell everybody. No, of course not.
you've got a Nikor here. Watch out. No. And you, as you're sort of like looking out at this, you can see he occasionally looks out at the ocean beyond. And once in a while, it is said that yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, Guinevere would want to talk to him.
Oh, please, let's do it.
Yeah, I guess like they are standing on the shore.
And he's standing out and looking out himself.
Yeah, she walks up to him, stands next to him, also looks out, and is like, I suppose you will be leaving soon too?
Time to go out? Maybe. Friends here, though. And shark dredger out there. Maybe. And he turns back to you and he says, would you leave or stay?
Well, I will be leaving, so...
But if you were one such as me, would you leave or stay?
Do you like it here?
And he kind of purses his lips and he says, yes, but also like there too. Kind of gestures to the sea. Not sure.
What would keep you from just visiting? Travel is an option.
He nods. He says, perhaps they might think strange that leave. And it occurs to you now for the first time, Genevieve, you may remember that initially he wasn't speaking. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now he is, although it's very broken, kind of accented, whatever, but he could come back. They might need fishermen, though.
Maybe. But I think for now they will be fine. Considering that now they can like go fishing themselves again and everything. But I was wondering if I could ask you a favor in case that you should decide to leave.
And he looks at you and yes.
I used to have this friend who would tell me stories about her parents, whom she never met, but apparently, or so she claimed, that her mother was not too different from you. And last time I saw her was when she was ran off a cliff and was swallowed by the waves, and I was wondering if you could maybe keep an ear out if you might have heard anything about her.
And Wig says, where did this happen?
It was a while ago on this island, and then she like goes to explain the more specifics and what exactly happened.
And Wig listens intently and then says, I will ask. We will tell you if we hear.
Thank you.
And Wig says, and when you leave, where will you go?
I suppose I will return to Xanten for now. And the way things have been going, I feel that eventually adventure will be coming knocking at my door sooner or later, whether I wanted to or not. Though I could do with some relaxation after this.
And Wig smiles a little bit and says, sometimes being a hero chooses person, not person choosing to be a hero.
Isn't that the truth?
And Wig says, "Remember, you are chosen for a reason. You decide, but so does the world and the sea decide."
He just nods and picks up a flat pebble from the beach and flicks it onto the water.
And Wig watches. I was about to make a silly joke, and suddenly a seal is hit in the face, and Wig's like, "How dare you?" No, just kidding. No, that doesn't happen. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about what happens with Float. Oh, wait, one more thing. Very important. Sorry. When your ship eventually leaves, the Longhouse is well under construction and reconstruction, I should say. And Beswa and Eochthen both come to speak to you. And since this time, Beswa has become, you notice, much quieter. And Eochthen is not like some extroverted like talker at all, but definitely talks more than she was. She is now dressed in raiments with little silver inlay, and the same with Beswa. And Beswa comes with Eochthen on the eve of your parting. In addition to the riches, your ship has been fully repaired, and in fact, given a set of new sort of upgraded fishing nets, I guess you could describe them, which are made of a particular kind of twine that does not easily break or warp under the damp. And so it's just much more efficient. Like basically you don't have to keep remending your nets. And as she stands there with Eochthen, Eochthen says, "My mother and I wanted to thank you. I don't know how other heroes would do things. Perhaps they might have killed Flodweird, and that would have solved our problem another way, but I'm glad that you did it your way." And Beswa says, "I have a lot to learn, but I am also glad that you came to us. Thank you. Where I would keep you here if I could, not against your will, but we could use someone like you. I would pay you well. You could have a house built for you and could become the guardian of this island and help for those times when perhaps its leaders don't listen." And she kind of lowers her eyes and looks away a bit.
Well, I like it back home, which is why I want to return to it. But also, I feel like an apology is in order, Your Highness. And she like goes down on one knee and like leans over, deep bow. I should not have spoken to you in the manner that I did the other day, where I'm incredibly sorry, Your Highness.
And the
I
queen
did not know what to do as otherwise.
The queen says, "What? I was Genevieve. I was a fool. If you had not spoken to me that way, I might have remained so. It was only your knowledge of my daughter and your words that allowed her to say what I needed to hear. I didn't realize. I don't know that I'll ever really like sharks, but Eochthen has explained a lot to me, and they weren't exactly what I thought they were. Neither was I. If you had not spoken, truth is never to be feared, even if it's bespoken to one who claims to be a queen." Triffid, I didn't have time before, slaps the queen. Whoops, by the way.
Well, thank you. Most gracious. But yeah, maybe I will come visit at some point. But for now, I will be home.
She says, "There is one other thing. I am not totally sure how to suggest this, but we have a gift. The people have a gift that they wish to give you. But, well, they didn't know which one you would prefer. And you can see now that a bunch of the villagers have gathered behind her. And they're all sort of like smiling. They still look like they are definitely dealing with some PTSD, for sure. But there is a sense of relief on their face that was not there when you arrived here. And so you can see they're all gathered to see what she'll say. And she says, Eochthen steps forward and says, the villagers have 2 things they wish to give you and hoped you would choose one or the other. The first is this, and she holds out a silver-tipped arrow. Now, this arrow is, as you look at it, this work of astonishing master craftsmanship. Like just the balance on the arrow, the fletching is perfect. And you can see that there are small runes inscribed down the side. And Eochthen says, this arrow was left for us by one who was giving it to our people. But we would wish for you to have it if you choose this. It is an arrow that will not miss. It is unerring. We are told that if you fire it from a bow, whatever your target is, they will be hit by it. Mechanically, that's actually the case. This is an arrow which can't miss.
Nice.
And it's also silver-tipped, which means it's real good against the undead and so on. But, let's leave that for later. But it's an unerring arrow. That's one thing. And she says, and she looks behind one of the villagers, and the villagers bring over something and sort of hand it over. And as you look, you see there are these silver gloves. They are silver mesh. They look like, it almost looks like chainmail. And yet they're made of this silver. And as you sort of look at them, you can see that they look like they're just shimmering, almost as if there's like little waves in the sides of in the surface of these gloves. And she says, these are gloves of wondrous skill. They were left to us by a craftsman. And, well, we believe they have some magic in them. It is said that one who wears these gloves will never lack for the ability to do what they must with dexterous tasks, stringing a bow, tying together a net, or perhaps weaving together a tapestry of one's heroic stories. So these are, mechanically, these are gloves of dexterity. If you wear them, this would give you +1 to your dexterity. So you have the unerring silver arrow, or you have the dexterous gloves.
I think I'm gonna go with the gloves.
I figured you might. I mean, the arrow's nice, but like the silver
gloves.
not silver gauntlets, because they're not really armor. They're really more like, these things that
I'm just. So this is like, of course, it's like our final session and everything, but like, I'm just imagining that like with Genofefa, like over time does more adventuring with her wearing the gloves, and that she might become called Genofefa Silverhand because of it.
Ooh, I love it.
Yeah, right?
Exactly.
That's why I want them.
I like that there's that, and then chat's like, with these things on, they won't be able to lay a glove on you. Let's get ready to rumble. They're not boxing gloves. Echo, they're the opposite of boxing gloves.
Now take them and slap the queen with them across the face.
I appreciate what you said. Cutting her face because it's silver.
Yeah, she stands there looking at these items, and like runs her hands over either of them after one after the other. Then like goes for the gloves and puts one of them on and is just like, I think I will take these if that's all right. They're beautiful.
I love that. And yeah, the silver hand epithet, as Prince Justin says, right? Yeah, sorry, imaginary. They're not boxing gloves. Okay. and
The silver hand thing is a bit inspired by oh god, what is the English name? Tristan.
Oh, sure. Is that
how
Tristan?
do you pronounce Isolde in English?
Is that Tristan and Isolde? That's how I would pronounce it, Isolde.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Is
Isolde.
it Tristan and Isolde fame? I love it.
Yeah, because there's another character also named Isolde in that one called Isolde Whitehand or Whitehand. So like that's what I was thinking of.
I love it. And so wearing the gloves.
Love my old stories.
I love it. And the villagers all sort of smile and nod and kind of whisper to each other, and Eökthen nods and smiles as well and says, "Thank you, and may your seas ahead be calm to your home. Please come back and see us, though."
One day, yes.
Beswa and Eökthen nod, and as you get back on your ship and the followers get around, gather around you and come back on board, and the ship is turned around and then heads out to sea, you hear sort of an exclamation from the side, and as you look over, hold on a second, chat is giving me problems for some reason. One sec. All right, let me try to reconnect now. My chat, for some reason, Chatty is not working, but we're not frozen, I don't think. All right, I'm going on to my mobile app to make sure that I haven't lost people. Although I haven't lost Tari, so it's obviously not
Works
internet
for
problem.
me.
Yeah.
Like chat is working for me fine, so maybe you just need to refresh it.
Okay. No, it's not that. It's Chatty is not for some reason connecting, and I don't know why. Okay, I've got it. I can see you all through the power of my mobile app. Okay. So you as you head out, there's this exclamation, and you see Guy is sort of leaning over the side and pointing and says, "Ugh," and kind of waves at you. And Galib and Mundir come over along with Rickmod, and Rickmod kind of cackles as she sees whatever it is on the other side of the ship.
Yeah, take a look. What is on the other side of the ship?
Okay, I was waiting if you were gonna wave at them. Okay, so they come over. You come over to it, and you can see there is this what looks like at first like a rock, and then something. Just slightly, you feel the ship, and you look down and you see an enormous thing, and then you see the familiar sight of a basking shark. And it comes up and sort of bumps you gently, and then swims off again into the distance.
Oh, he's fine.
Yeah, he looks a little cut up, but he looks like he's okay. I will say that the Flodweird, the seawall, stays. Once again, Flodweird becomes distant and seldom seen once more, to the point that some islanders doubt if it still remains. But when the dark clouds that indicate an approaching storm break before they reach the island, most that are present take it as an omen that Flodweird still defends the island. And at certain times, you hear rumors that Flodweird is letting ships pass the way it's supposed to. Hroden, I will tell you, some months from now, eventually regains its reputation as a safe haven for sailors. Although the rumors that a sinister force on the island waits to trap the unwary never quite disperses, that's always sort of floating around. But trade routes are open again, and people are once able again to be in contact. So others will be able to leave the island, presumably, as well. I do want to jump us forward to a ceremony, though, and it is a ceremony where the Genevieve Silverhand, shark dredger tamer, is kneeling in front of her king as she is knighted in front of a cheering crowd, because Genevieve's heroism at this point in no small part due to, definite assist to the scope. Like Ainsworth's song was pretty baller,
Yeah.
and the dancing waves, like it's really impressive. So that probably helped. But regardless, you have restored the trade routes. You have solved multiple problems across the Whale Road, and have engaged in things honorably. And so you are made a knight, and your family, your friends, your followers are around you as this happens, and flowers strew the road in front of you as, in tradition's form, you rise and are given your. And now I'm going to stop and ask Tari, the heraldry expert, what would you be given here? Because it wouldn't be a coat of arms, would it? Like if you were officially
No,
knighted,
because
what would you be
those are
given?
not.
That's what I thought. That's why I didn't say
invented yet.
anything. That's right. That's why I didn't
No,
say anything. What would you be given?
I'm
What
not
would it
sure.
look like too? Like, what would it look like? Whatever you're given in terms of the,
I think actually, she wouldn't be given anything flashy as such. Like she would mainly be given, probably, a bit of land.
Okay.
Or a house.
Okay.
Something like that. And like material goods, nice fabrics, nice, weapons already a thing. Maybe get some serfs of her own.
A pension, Big Boss says.
Yeah, basically. But
decent health care. Well, all right, let's take it easy, okay?
The dental plan.
Yeah,
you wouldn't believe it.
The world-class medieval era dental plan.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah, basically, just like acknowledgement from the king, and yeah.
You big time.
Yeah.
And there is, I would say, if we advance things maybe 6 months, you are down in the sort of looking out at, I guess I would say looking out at your front lawn, for want of a better term, like basically just
Get off my lawn.
on the porch, basically, right? And you are talking to your followers, and Mundir. I'm going to increase the size. We can all see these people a little bit. So Mundir says, the truth is that we will all need to go at some point and go back out adventuring in the sea. This life here is enjoyable, and I don't mind a bit of luxury. And Yasib, who is sort of in another chair, is like, you appreciate it more than that. And Mundir says, very well, silence. And he kind of waves. He says, but, well, some of us are getting edgy. I mean, look at Guy over there. And you can see Guy on the other side of the porch is basically like sharpening his spear. And he kind of sort of grunts at you. It continues to sharpen. And Mundir says, you can see he's right on the edge. He's at any moment. He says, although whether everyone wants to go. And Rickmod is sitting next to you. She is rocking back and forth on this chair, and she says, my time will come when it comes. The question is whether Genevieve has need of us. We have served Runesild and then her. Perhaps she has decided the business of being a hero is limited. The portents are uncertain, the clouds stormy. I cannot see what will happen to all of us. Perhaps we are where we are meant to be now. And she kind of looks at you, Genevieve.
Well, Genevieve sits there, also like on a bench, I'm assuming that's in front of the house, with a drink in her hand, takes a sip. Spring is just around the corner, and I think we've been holed up over here for long enough. So, I guess we could just go where the waves lead us.
And the all four sort of look at you, and Galib says, "I am willing. It is time for active people to be doing active things. And besides, Mundir could get too used to this otherwise." And Mundir kind of grumbles and says, never mind. Perhaps there is more to be discovered anyway. If Rigmod can make it, so can I. And Mundir says, "What of Guy?" And Guy sort of looks at all of you. And then goes back to sharpening his spear. And Mundir says, "It's a yes then." As you are sort of sitting on the porch looking out, you can see it's dusk, and so the light is setting, and you can see the sun is setting. And then you can see sort of coming up the hillside an unusual figure. It is a familiar figure, but not one that you've seen for some time. It is thin and has sort of longish, wispy white hair. And when it comes up, it looks very much like a figure that you met back at Freodin. It is not Wig, but as it comes up to the lawn, it comes up to you, and then it points at you, and it says, and kind of waves at you a little bit, and holds up, in my book I can do this, does this, and then this, and then does this, and then points back at the ocean.
At the river.
I'm sorry, I beg your pardon. Not the ocean. Yes, sorry. The river. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Yeah, points at the river.
You want us to fight something?
And it sort of like gestures and then says, then gestures, and it sort of holds this up and points at Guy's, it points at Guy, and Guy sort of looks at it, and then it goes over, and it sort of like cautiously leans a hand in, and it touches Guy's helmet, and then touches his weapon, and then and then sort of looks at all that, and looks at these things, and points again at it, and then gestures at you, points a finger at Guy's armor and weaponry, and then points at the river, and then does this. Rickmod chuckles a little bit.
Fifa stands there, eyes wide, and like looks at her friends. It's like, Wick found her?
The creature, whoever it is, smiles quietly at you, and then turns and walks away.
Yeah, she like runs to the door, goes inside, like within a second she comes back out again. We leave in an hour, pack your things.
And everyone's like, what? Like they all, the only one who seems unsurprised by this is Rickmod and Guy. Guy because he never seems surprised, and Rickmod because she seems to know something else. They go off, Rickmod and Mundir and Galib, to get everything ready. But Guy sort of remains on the porch, and then he stands up, and he's got his spear and his armor with him, and he looks out, and for the literal first time in the entire campaign, Guy smiles, sheathes his spear, enters the door, and we bring an end to Beowulf Age of Heroes.
Hey!
Huzzah!
Awesome ending.
Hey.
Holy shit. That was amazing.
So we did it. We did it. We did it. Great stuff, Tari. Wow. I was really, I have to say, what I really loved so much about your arc in this campaign is the fact that Runesild and Genevieve were so different, and you really approached it roleplay-wise differently, because you're right. If you had taken the chisel out and it was Runesild playing it, and you were like, no, I need to convince it, like, everyone would have been like, what? Runesild? Like, Runesild would have been like, time to defeat the monster, right? But like,
Yeah.
it's fascinating that Genevieve, despite the fact she's following in her best friend's footsteps, never actually became Runesild in the same way, right? Like, she's her own hero doing her own way. Even that idea, which I had not thought about, of you going to Wig and being like, can you have your people be on the lookout? What a cool idea. And I feel like that's something which you thought of, obviously, but which Genevieve in particular thought of. So that was awesome. How did you, let's do a little post-mortem here. How did you feel about the campaign as a whole? You have like things that you thought about as you were playing it, you know, what struck you?
So because this is such a different like playing style, being a duet system, I'm like really glad that like I could play the main character, right? Or main characters.
Totally.
Plural.
Yeah, characters.
Like get much more stuff to decide for myself and stuff like that, which is really unique opportunity, I think. And like also in like this type of setting, which I really, really like.
Yeah.
For those new here, hi, I'm obsessed with like old legends and myths, and like medieval and pre-medieval history. So
also has way more knowledge of heraldry than I do, which was, you know, no pressure.
But heraldry is not a thing yet.
Yeah, but come on. The earliest stages of it, though, there were
proto-heraldry.
Yes, like yeah.
But that would have functioned differently.
Oh, of course. No, I know it's not doing the same things, but what I meant was this sort of lead up to that. Like, I've been reading, just very quick sidebar, I've been reading a book which I know Prince Justin has read called Inventing the Renaissance by Ada Palmer, which is spectacularly good, by the way. It's really good. And it's very large. It's a very impressive book. Anyway, but in Inventing the Renaissance, and I have studied the Renaissance quite extensively, especially the English Renaissance most of all. And the interesting thing is that what we know as the Renaissance depends very much on what time period of history we want to start it in and where we want to place it at the center. And that tends to be, you'll be shocked to hear, based on your own predilections about where you'd like it to start, right? So like that, and the reason I mention that is because of medievalism stuff. Like the idea that like Rome fell and then it was shit for 800 plus years and then the Renaissance showed up is just not like... The Dark Ages were not dark like that. It was not like, and then there was darkness and depravity and dystopia until roughly 100, and then we started to come out of it, and then we had the Renaissance. Like, that's not accurate. So there was a lot of stuff that led from the medieval times into what we think of as the Renaissance. And so I've just been much more conscious of not, you know, of sort of thinking about the original origins of these things that we imagine as being much later constructions and where we saw earlier versions of that, like earlier versions of the law, right? Like the all thing and stuff like that, early versions of parliamentary almost groups that we see in certain places. So that's all that I was thinking. So go read that book. And the Renaissance is great, by the way. Really good.
Yeah, I'm like more interested in what happened before the Renaissance.
No, that's totally fine. I'm saying if you have any interest in it, like Renaissance, totally do it. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, like what you mean, like what you said about like depends on where and when. I had the talk with my boyfriend like weeks ago, I don't know. Because like in Germany, like it's like very clear when the Renaissance starts. It starts with the schism, the church schism, and the invention of the printing press, the letter movable printing press.
Yep.
Which, of course, is not relevant to other countries as much. You know, of course, that's mainly relevant to Germany because that's what happened there.
Right.
Yeah. But no, this was just really cool. Also, like just like playing like this very low fantasy setting, very historically inspired. Like I really like my settings to be very historically inspired.
Yeah.
Much to the chagrin of various DMs I've played with before. I go like, no, this is historically inaccurate. They wouldn't have this.
Actually, that's not really what it looks like, you know.
I can't help myself with stuff like this. Yeah, and also like, I'm like really glad that we were like able to tie Runesild back into this, because what you watchers don't know, but like Greg and I have talked about this back when Genoveva quote unquote died, that we held that
Runesild. died.
Runsild. What,
Yeah.
what did I say?
You said Genevieve, and I was like,
Oh, no,
that
I
was
meant
news to
Runsild.
me. Like,
No, sorry. Runsild. When she like died,
Mhm.
that we like held it up as a possibility that she might show up again later because we didn't see her die. So, as far as writing tropes go, so she's not dead. If you don't find the body, then they're not dead.
Right, and we still
Like
don't know.
writing
I mean,
101.
listen, maybe the guy's just like, look, I found some cool armor.
Oh,
come look at it. Like, I mean, who knows?
Come on. But yeah, like, and also I never really got to do anything with Runsild's background.
Right.
With her being half mermaid. I don't know if I did mention that on stream by now.
I don't know if you have, but now it's a good time to mention it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, she oh god, let me look at her character sheet again. Because she has a special, I think it's a feat. Fey ancestry. You have advantage on saving throw. Okay, that's just mechanical stuff. But like basically how I interpreted that is that I made her half mermaid because it's like a whole thing. In like along the River Rhine, which is like where the characters are from. Xanten is at the Lower Rhine area. Currently like right next to the Dutch, like on the Dutch-German border. Is like there's a lot of tales and stories about mermaids, like for example Lorelei, whom I named my cat after.
Yep.
So but like yeah, I never really got to do any, and like when I say half mermaid, like you shouldn't like think of mermaids in the pop culture sense, like women with fish, half body fish. Like no, those are more like
up there where the people
out there.
No, I was mixing metaphors.
But it's more like just magic women who live in water. Like they are a big thing. Like also the Nibelungen legend, where you have like the 3 mermaids.
They're a little more almost like they always struck me a little bit like water nymphs in certain pop
Yes.
culture descriptions. Like they're a little more like that than they would be.
Yeah.
Or naiads, as Callie says in chat. A mermaid in the French royal family. Yeah, vaguely remember hearing something about that.
That would be the Melusine.
Yeah.
But she's like a snake woman more. Like the ones I mean, like they don't really have any visible animal traits. But yeah, so like I had that be a thing, but like never got to do anything with that. So that was like my whole idea. Oh, she fell into the waves. What if she lived? You know?
Yep.
What if she like either was like rescued by her mom, maybe, like because we don't know what happened to her mom. She's just out of the picture. So or by a sibling maybe, or whatever, family, or just like maybe she just then discovered on the brink of death her own latent water magics, you know?
Yeah.
Something like that.
And it happened early, you know, like it happened after the first adventure. So
yeah, at the end of the first adventure.
And I really, and I was unsure about it. And I was like, you know, and Tari and I talked about it because I was like, listen, I don't want to, congratulations, you set up this thing. Now, guess what? You don't get to play with this person. But Tari was actually very open to the idea. And it also helps that we had an artist who, you know, kind of was just built in, who could get new character art quickly. But it ended up being, honestly, one of the things that I really enjoyed about it. Also, working slightly against type, because the traditional Beowulf hero, of course, is the Runesild model, right? Where you are sort of like, damn the torpedoes, it's about the glory, you know, like, and that sort of thing. And obviously you're fighting evil, you're doing things for the right reasons, but you engage in what we would think of now as reckless behavior even, and that's part of how you advance your heroism. That's why, you know, Beowulf, like, chooses not to, that's why, Unferth gets in trouble for giving Beowulf an amazing weapon before he swims down to fight Grendel's mother 6 hours underneath the, you know, in the cave underneath this lake. Unferth gets in trouble for it because they're like, yeah, you're a coward because you gave someone else your sword. You know what I mean? Like, it just is a different mindset. But Genevieve, then, in a way, it reminded me of our discussion today about updating things in relates to gameplay, Tari. It felt like this was a little bit of an updated, like a very different kind of character, but a character that felt a little more modern, Genevieve, you know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
So that was interesting to me, that you were able to take a different spin on it. and kind of lean into something which was not the character concept you had originally, obviously, for this.
Yeah. Like the whole, like something that like crystallized itself over time for me is that like Runesild is very much like the classical type of hero.
Mm-hmm.
In like old stories where it's like not about being a good person that makes you a hero, or selfless deeds that make you, but like grand, impossible odds beaten, you know, shit like that.
Yep.
While Genoveva is more of a modern hero who is more like represents more like virtues that would like things that we consider virtuous today.
Totally.
So like that was just a lot of fun to play, you know, like that juxtaposition, and it's like fun that just like happened organically.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't plan for any of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like very much rolling with the punches here.
Yeah, it was very much.
So
sort
I'm like
of,
really glad where all of this ended up.
I'm glad, yeah, that we just sort of discovered it through play. Also, you leveled up to level 6. Just saying, by the way. But like, yeah, and I think it was, you know, the system. I think, I think the system allows for that. Again, this is sort of my annoyance with people who are sort of like, you know, well, if it's 5e based, then it obviously is crap. Like this 5e based system is extraordinarily different in tone, in feel, than the 5e Expedition from the Mysterious Peaks that you're going to see over the weekend, which is a fantasy sci-fi mashup where they're exploring this spaceship, and half of them are from, you know, spacefaring races, and half of them are sort of the more traditional fantasy ones. Like, totally different feel. And that in turn is different from Middle-earth roleplay, which we played, which was a 5e based system. So Dragonbane that we're going to be starting next month is a not 5e based. It's a different system completely. But the point is, like, it's not about that.
Completely is a bit of a stretch.
Well,
I mean, this
obviously connected to in many ways for sure. But you know, like, I guess my point is that it's not. It's definitely not a 5e official 5e product in any way.
No.
Like, and so that I think it's about how the players, the GMs play it, and it's about how the sort of world setting is around it. And a lot of that is, you know, the adventures, the campaign adventures that we did sort of really had that feel. Like the Witches one, the Witches and the Worm, which for you was like, it was like really powerful for Genoveva, right? Like, and it was
right?
like,
oh my god,
yeah.
That was like perfect. Like couldn't have fucking planned for that. That was just too good.
Yep. So it worked out well. Now let me think. So we did the one with Runesild, and then it wasn't the Witches and the Worm was on the way back from.
That was the third one. The second one was the one with Draugr, with Revenant.
Yes. That's right. So we did that.
What are they called again in Dregs? In Old English?
Yeah,
I just call them Revenants because it's a modern English.
Also, I get it mixed up with Skyrim with Draugr, but yeah, right.
Well, it's the same thing, isn't it?
Same.
Well, I don't
idea.
know how they interpreted them in Skyrim, but I'm pretty sure that Dregs and Draugr are just basically the same thing.
Yeah. It would have been the same idea. Yeah, so it was Horror at Harrogate. That was the one.
Yes.
So we did the first one with Runesild. We did then Horror at Harrogate. Then we did the Witches and the Worm. And then we did Ear of Stone. And I thought a little bit about different options. Like there was the Triple Serpent. I thought about some other possibilities, but honestly, the reason that I loved the Ear of Stone idea was because I thought it would sync nicely in with Genoveva's, like, not combat all the time, you know, type of feel. And the fact that a lot of it is about bringing together the mother and daughter, like, I mean, and getting Beswa to wake the hell up, you know, and stop believing that there's only one way to be a queen and only one way to be a mother. That was a big part of it. And so I think that's better suited, let's say, to Genoveva's skill set than might be the case otherwise. And I should also say thank you to Tren, who started with us on this journey. Tren in the end decided to bow out because he wasn't enjoying the system as much as he hoped. And that meant that Tari and I were able to focus on just doing this with these characters, which worked perfectly fine. But I do appreciate that Tren was there with us, and Tren will be returning to play with Tari next month because Tren will be with us for Dragonbane. But
yes.
But that was great. And we ended up playing just over 2 years of Beowulf. We started in December of 2023. And so we did just right around basically 2 years of this campaign, which feels about right.
Yeah.
It feels about right for that. So, also, I am very grateful to my friend Tari for her amazing artwork that you saw there, the character
Thank
work,
you.
the follower artwork, and of course the overlays. They were amazing. And I wanted to thank Tari's boyfriend, Nari, also known as Wesley, who composed the music for the video with this
Yes,
too.
correct.
So I was really grateful about that too. So thank you for the music also.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's like one more thing where we were at like things that we had for characters and weren't able to use, with Runestad being half mermaid. I'm like really sad that I never got to reveal a certain thing about Genoveva.
Oh, can you reveal? Yeah, please do. I mean,
Yeah, because like I couldn't figure out any organic way to put that in, but Genoveva is actually trans.
Oh, so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I thought that up like 1.5 years ago or so. And like I was like thinking, how can I put that in without like being shoehorned?
I don't even know if you mentioned that to me.
No, I
don't
didn't. I
think
just
you
like
did.
asked some friends of mine who are trans, like, hey, is there any way where I can like put this in without it being like super weird, awkward, whatever? Was just like, yeah, no idea.
That's super cool.
So I was like waiting for something, but like nothing came ever up. So I'm revealing it now. Ta-da!
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. And yeah, I love being able to have again, sort of the modern and the medieval, the modern and the old, that are sort of tying together in a relationship and a connection there, which I think is very neat. And yeah, but Tari, wonderful job over the last couple of years. Thank you for going on this journey. You did a wonderful job with it. And I'm excited that we keep hanging out doing gamebook stuff and obviously Dragonbane, but wonderful stuff on Beowulf. Also, shout out to chat, those of you who are watching on Tuesdays, because a lot of you were regulars that came in and watched all the time, besides besides the mods and folks like Prince Justin and Triffid, but Nonstop was here a lot of the time, so was Echo Imaginary Exponent was here a whole bunch, Big Boss was here a whole bunch. We had a whole bunch of people that were here at various times that were watching this, so for new and old viewers alike, I'm really grateful that all of you came and were a part of this, and I hope you will come back for Dragonbane also, because that's going to be really fun. It is going to be a very different feel. It'll be still vaguely European, broadly, he said, whatever that means. But it will have a very much different kind of vibe and element of charm about it. And so that'll be really cool, and I'm excited for it. And it'll be nice to have Tari being able to play off other people, as was the case with Middle Earth. And of course, I'm always fun to hang out with Tari myself, but it'll be good to have other people too that she can balance with it. So I really enjoyed this. So thank you to chat. And thank you to Tari. Thank you to Handiwork Games for making this game in the first place. And they have a new one called King Beowulf, which at some point I might take a look at, that I backed, which is about sort of running a kingdom. Was not something I really felt like streaming or doing anything with there, but I might be interested to sort of check it out at a later point. And,
well, maybe I'll be back for it. Who knows?
Well, I was going to say down the line, I'm not, closing the door on any of these things. But yeah, it was great. So thank you, Tari.
Thank you for having me for this. Like, this was great.
Yeah.
I do feel a bit sorry with like this last module that we did, that I like accidentally rushed through it.
It was funny. It was just funny because I was kind of like, okay, I was like, I guess. But that
escalated quickly.
Yeah, I know, but that's okay. It works out fine because we have the time frame works out for us to start with Dragonbane anyway, so it works out okay. And you will see Tari and myself next. Well, you'll see me for a little while longer now, because we're going to do nominations for Chat Show's Game of the Month. But you're going to see Tari and me next week, continuing with our Into the Dark game book playthrough, as we have some more things to gather together. But we've gotten a lot of the things now, so we have more of those to gather together. And then we will continue on with our game book illustrations. That will continue to happen once a month. But Dragonbane will be happening now. One other programming note. So Dragonbane will continue to happen on this time slot. So Tuesdays between roughly speaking noon to roughly speaking 3 Eastern. But we are going to try, we'll see whether this works. We're going to try to do Dragonbane twice a month, in which event it would go Dragonbane, some order. I don't know what the order is, but on a Tuesday, Dragonbane, Game Book Illustration, and the Patreon Field Chat Chosen Game of the Month. That's the hope. That may not always work perfectly, and if so, that's fine. It is what it is, but that's what we're going to try to do if we can. And I have already told the Dragonbane players in our Session 0 the name of the Dragonbane campaign. I have not announced that formally yet outside of the group, but I will be doing so pretty soon. But I'm very excited for it. It's going to be, everyone I think had a good time with each other, sort of chatting about what this is going to look like and learning about the rules. And it will feature Tari and Undeveloped Bruce from my By the Dice Roll group, and Tren, who you should all know from Eberron and also from previously this game a long time ago and Middle Earth Role Playing. And we'll also feature Crocs from GOG.com streamer fame way back in the day. So I will have 2 Germans, one of them living in the Netherlands now, and one person from Wales, and I don't know, one California guy. That's basically it.
A true California girl.
True California. Well, I mean, he's gay and he's a furry, so I figured that fits California. It's pretty much sums everything up.
Well, considering the weather, I think fursuits are probably not as practical there, from what I've heard.
Listen, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Oh God, Dragonbane.
Speaking of furries, I'm not gonna spoil too much, but
Okay.
like this about player characters for the new campaign. Let's just say we are gonna be very short on humans and humanoid characters.
Not a lot of humans.
No. I'll be a duck, and I'm very much looking forward to that. Oh my God, I've been just reading so many old Donald Duck comics and new ones. Luckily, my boyfriend has the Dutch Donald Duck comics, the weekly ones. Subscribe to them, so we are getting them in the mail every week.
Nice.
So I can read those and also practice my Dutch at the same time. And it's just, just very much looking forward.
It's gonna be great. No, sorry, Imaginary, not hobbits. We have short on humans, not short humans. Exactly, Blaine. No.
Short on humanoids.
There are halflings in Dragonbane, but no. No, it's not that. But yeah, it'll be really interesting for that reason. It's funny, I don't know why, but I have literally sitting next to me, I have Riverbank, which I spent part of the break looking over, which is the basically Wind in the Willows tabletop role-playing game where you get into with your, in all quotes, appalling relatives that take you to tea and stuff like that. It's very cool. It's cozy and whatever. Hey, Affect Life.
Yes.
Yeah, we just sadly you missed it.
How cozy. Drinking tea with your most hated relatives.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
How cozy it could get. But it's in that Pride and Prejudice-ish sort of way, you know what I mean? It's a little bit more
very cozy.
So anyway, that's good for I would not do a long campaign in that, but it's good for a one shot. I might bring that out for a special event. And then we also have I also have Humblewood over there that I happened to get at a recent convention, which is also all animals. And now Dragonbane is going to have some fair bit of animal stuff going on, as you'll all see when you hear about the characters. So I don't know what it is. All of a sudden, I've got a bunch of animal characters that we're going to be having. So it's going to be good times. Also, I love the. Have you seen the titles suggestions in chat, Tari? So we have Dragonbane Bandersnatch, Dragonbane Bane on the Run, Dragonbane No Pain No Bane, Dragonbane The Bane Strikes Back, Dragonbane with a Vengeance. Anyway, so that's going to be happening. It will be great. So, all right, Tari. Well, I'm going to do nominations for the Chat Show's Game of the Month. So I will say to you, have a lovely evening again. Thank you so much. Wonderful play with both Runefield and Genevieve.
It was awesome.
And it was a pleasure. And I will see you next week for the game book illustration, and then next month for Dragonbane premiere. So
yes,
thank you, Tari. Chat, can we get some love for TariToons and her wonderful play of Genevieve? Can we get some love? And thank you, Tari, so much. And I'll talk to you next week.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye, Tari.
Toodaloo. Good night.
Alrighty. I'll be casting a banishment spell. I love it. I love every part of it. Good stuff, everyone. Really enjoyed that a lot. That was great. And it ended up nicely in the way that I might have hoped. So And we got a scene from Guy. I liked all of Tari's followers, which are basically her idea. I mean, she was the one who created all these followers too. I should have mentioned that. She did a good job on creating all these followers. But it was fun not only to play them, but to see which ones really kind of took hold. And I don't know. I like the sort of taciturn, doesn't say much but means a lot with every little motion that he makes of his head, or whatever he does. I was a fan of Guy, so good stuff from Tari today. So yes, Dragonbane will be replacing Beowulf in this spot starting next month. And again, next month is also launching Prince Justin's the 13th Icon, which will star Mur Lafferty, and will star Darcy Little Badger, and will star Kathleen DeVere, and will star our very own Trivity Mats in that campaign. So I'm excited for that, and I can't wait to see that get started. And man, I've seen now, by the way, the videos for both Dragonbane and the 13th Icon, both of which are being done by Drew, and let's go is all I got to say. They're both really great. They came out really well, and I'm excited for it. So endings, but also new beginnings. And it was great. I really enjoyed this campaign, and I think it came to a good end in the way that we hoped. So that was cool. I love it. Now, we have some nominations to do, everybody, before I sign off. Remember, this afternoon I'm going to be over on GOG.com's Twitch channel with Pen and Pixels. But right now, I'm going to pull up Effect Life's amazing Arvbot Plus. And we are going to fire up the poll so that we can nominate this. This is going to be happening not next week. Next week is going to be Gamebook Illustration. But we are going to be doing this 2 weeks from now once this vote is done. So do the polls right here. Nominations. All right, so nominations. Let's go. Yeah, I think you did have a nomination. Sorry, what is that? Oh, yeah, that's it. There's this. There we go. Okay. All right, chat. What game should I play this month? Again, I always reserve the right to veto if I've already played one, or if I'm going to be playing it separately, or whatever. But a lot of the chat chosen games, Sword of the Sea, I finished that. Dispatch, I loved. In fact, that became my 4th top game of last year. I played that. I played a ton of stuff. Far Lone Sails, I played a lot of these. Airborne Kingdom was like number 7, I think. Kathy Rain 2, yes, I know that Echo is excited to hopefully get this in the list. It will eventually get there. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Nominate checkbox. There we go. Sorry, my bad. Okay, so how do we do that? Yeah, so what Effect Life just did is the way you do this. Let me make sure that this worked. Did I do this right, Effect Life? Do you have to do... Well, I don't know if maybe I can't start. Let me try it this way. Do I need to open it? I don't need to open it, right? Do I need to click open or not? I do need to open? Oh, I haven't. No, because it says I haven't entered any options. All right. In the meantime, I will put these things separately. So, okay. So Kathy Rain 2. I'm going to do this in the meantime. Okay. Then we had Viewfinder. Oh. That's right. $. Let's try that again. Now try it. So do $, nominate. Hey, there it is. Success. I should have realized that myself. All right, good stuff. Death Stranding 2 on the beach. Hey, it works. Perfect. Flotsam. Now tell me about, I think I remember what Effect Life told me about Viewfinder. Interesting that Big Boss is choosing Death Stranding 2. Now, I have not even played Death Stranding 1, to be honest. So, Undersquirrel, Bomber Crew. Okay, so tell me first, what is Flotsam? Tell me about Flotsam, and then Undersquirrel, tell me about Bomber Crew. What are these games? Remember, no AI at all, no Gen AI. I don't mean no AI, no Gen AI involved. And I don't like horror games. So if it's scary, if it's even jump scary of any kind at all, do not like. Not because they're bad, just because I don't like them. That's all. I'm nominating my named version of the game. Is that a specific type of Death Stranding 2 on the beach? Yeah, spooky games are fine, but no jump scares. Bomber Crew is a silly game. You take care of a bomber crew, you get a bunch of missions. Okay, sounds good. Now, Undersquirrel, there's no Gen AI, right? That's involved with it? I just want to make sure. Assuming no, then that's totally fine with me. Okay, great. Sounds good. Okay, Kathy Rain 2, Soothsayer, Viewfinder, Death Stranding 2, On the Beach. Okay, great. Awesome. Just want to double check. Lovely. I love it. Okay. And then you said, Imaginary, you said Flotsam's like Flying Kingdom on a water. Great. Love it. All right, I'm gonna in a minute, I'm gonna close this down. Then we will take the top 3 vote getters, and those will go into our final vote tally, and then we'll have a week. So you'll have the next week to vote, to get your friends to vote, to tell people in the channel, hopefully people that you want to come watch this, not just random people, to vote. And then we will have the final vote. We'll close next week, and then I will play the week after. It's simpler. Okay, cool. All right. In that case, nominations are closed. All right, chat. Get in your votes. Top 3 vote getters will go through. Again, if we have a tie, I do want to mention to everybody that for those of you who don't know, if we only have 2 that are obvious vote getters that are the top 2, then we'll just put 2 in. But I usually like to have 3 if I can. I don't do more than 3. So minimum 2, maximum 3. I will say that if the sort of general etiquette here is that when you're voting for things, if it looks like your thing is just not going to go through and you want to like, or whatever, like if there's like if there's a 5-way tie or something like that, usually it might be a good thing to vote for someone else's because yours will almost always get in at some point. Tren, for example, put in World of Goo. He nominated that like, I don't know, must have been like 10 months or something like that before it finally actually got approved. I think it was Nonstop that kept trying to get Wizardry 8, and eventually Wizardry 8, despite my dislike of Wizardry in general, did eventually get through. So, no, that's fine, Undersquirrel. You're allowed to vote for that. That's okay. As long as I know the basics of it, it's all good. I do a lot of role-playing games here. A lot of tabletop role-playing and a lot of my favorite type of game is role-playing. But I also do a lot of adventure stuff. I'm currently playing Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I'm really enjoying that. I like me some good strategy. I played Expeditions Rome, which was a suggestion from Prince Justin. That game was amazing. That became my number 2 game of the year. So I play a variety. I can even occasionally be convinced to play certain kinds of shooters. The only games that I would say I don't, again, not horror because I just don't like being scared. It's nothing about horror. Spooky I like though. So I love Dredge. I love Strange Antiquities. I liked that stuff. That was great. I just don't like, I hate gore and jump scare horror stuff. I don't like that. And then, and I like silly games are fine too. Funny games are fine. I think the only other kind of game I played Dispatch. I love that. The only games that I don't like besides the horror thing is it has to be a really good point and click that doesn't do a whole lot with like adventure game point and click logic, you know? So like, I'm not a fan of Secret of Monkey Island, not because it's bad, but because I hate the like, oh yeah, all you had to do was like grab the arrow, wiggle it under the chicken, and then turn around 3 times and lift up the manhole, and then you get the feather. Like it's that stuff just like just blows my brain, and I don't like it. But that's a general commentary. Other than that, I'm pretty open to a lot of stuff. No, I recognized your name, Undersquirrel, so that's why I said it's totally cool. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, Big Boss? Like where I'm like, because it's I like games that when you do well in them, you feel smart, not games that when you miss something, you feel stupid. I enjoyed Strange Antiquities because it's a game that, for the most part, and it's not an easy game, but it's a game for the most part that makes you feel kind of smart when you do things the right way, when you think things through. I like it being somewhat challenging, but I don't like it when it's a game where it's like, oh, why didn't I like Myst was like this. Myst is beautifully atmospheric, but oh my god, turn around, jump 3 times in the air, eat a hamburger, and then the rocket ship will open. Why would that happen? I don't know. So, all right. So I'm going to last call this. We have 2 votes right now for Viewfinder and Flotsam, and we have 1 vote each for Bomber Crew and Kathy Rain 2. Now, if the Kathy Rain 2 votes or the Bomber Crew votes go to either of the other ones, then we'll have our 3. So if Kathy Rain 2 switches to Bomber Crew, or if Bomber Crew switches to Kathy Rain, then we'll have our 3. Or if one of them switches to one of the Viewfinder or Flotsam. Basically, if one of the 1 votes switches to one of the 2 votes, then we'll have our 3. So otherwise, what might happen is I might end up doing a little bit of a runoff. So I might put Viewfinder and Flotsam separately, and I might just put Kathy Rain 2 and Bomber Crew up against each other. No, Dad, I won't give up my game. No, I understand, Echo. I'm not making anyone give it up. Because what I might do is I might just put up something between just Kathy Rain and Bomber Crew. Might be what I might do. So we'll see. And if you want to do anything like that, that's $sign. $sign? Yes. $sign change vote space. Change vote, all one word. Oh, interesting, because it's picking up nom in both cases, is what you mean. Yeah, thanks, Echo. That's what you mean, Effect Life? That makes sense. Yeah, I can see that. It's really cool. I mean, all the ARFBot stuff that you folks see with the polls, and there's much more that you see during our gamebook playthroughs, that's all. The original concept for it was Netawin many, many years ago, but Effect Life has just made all these incredible, like, advancements in it, and like multi-votes and like being able to have nominate. It's great. So Effect Life did great work with it. Okay, all right. So going once, going twice. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, if someone could, what we're gonna do is this. So if someone could put together, don't close this yet, okay? But if you could put into the straw poll, either one of my mods, I know Echo does this sometimes too, which is always appreciated, Viewfinder and Flotsam, but don't close it yet, because the third one is going to be a runoff between Kathy Rain 2 Soothsayer and Bomber Crew. So Viewfinder and Flotsam, okay, so Viewfinder and Flotsam are in, but don't close it yet though. So we got Viewfinder and Flotsam, okay? Now we're going to clear this. We're going to move this up here. All right, and now we're going to open this. Now everyone can vote between the one of these they would prefer, either Kathy Rain 2 Soothsayer or Bomber Crew from Undersquirrel. So everyone can vote, even if you voted for one of the other ones, because this is just to see what the third one is going to be versus those other 2 that we already picked. So feel free to get your votes in. Whoever you can, even if you voted for something before, you can do that here, because this is just determining what the other one will be. Uh, 44. There we go. I fixed it now. I don't know. I don't know what that was. I might have edited manually without realizing. It's possible. 4,000 votes. Oh, just kidding. Uh-oh. Now I've done it, of course. All right, there we go. Yeah, no, I got it. Yeah, it's correct. It's over 9,000. 9,000 votes. That was funny. Yeah, I looked against it. I'm like, the frick? I guess people really want Bomber Crew. Okay. All right, last call. There was generative AI in the results of the poll. Well, if there was generative AI in the results of the poll, it would be like Kathy. It would just make it up. Oh, you wanted Kathy Rain 5 rye bread, right? You wanted Bomber Crew T-shirt by Over Ferret instead of Undersquirrel. Like, like it's just, it's not I actually did my syllabus yesterday because I start back next week, and I finished my syllabus for my fantasy course for this semester. And that, I have a pretty good sense of that because of what I did in the fall. I had to make some tweaks to adjust it because it was too much work. Like, I was way overwhelmed with grading because of all this extra stuff I had to do. So I changed it around to reduce that to something more manageable and whatever. So it's fine. But I made those changes. Now making the change on my creative writing course, that's going to be the thing. I'm going to start it tonight. That's going to be hard because that is not easy to do. Kathy Rain 2. Soothsayer. Hey, Echo, I have a question. Do you like Kathy Rain 2? Do you like Kathy Rain 2 better than Kathy Rain 1? I'm curious. You had an interview for a new job. First thing you asked if they're in the whole AI stuff, and if they would have said yes, I would have just moved on right then and there. That's good. Yeah, it's really, I think, Undersquirrel, like, I don't think it's a moderate position anymore to be like, well, there's some good uses for it. No, there isn't. Like, the moderate position is AI in general, not generative AI, has value. The same AI that's iterative, that assists human beings. For example, developing things of different cross sections of cancerous tumors, or doing assessments of archaeological dig sites. Like, there are many things in that regard that artificial intelligence has done great value for, and it has nothing to do with Gen AI. Has nothing to do with large learning models. And those things have been all conflated. And so I think the moderate position is, I'm trying to save AI from itself, right? Like, for me, I'm like, I want to make sure that's saved. Gen AI, though, just get it the hell out of there. Next, as people know, 2 months from now in March, at my university, St. John's, I will be hosting a conversation between myself and Ed Zitron. And if you look up Ed Zitron, Zitron, you will see that Ed is all over YouTube about generative AI stuff, and has written for Wired, and has been interviewed on BBC and MSNBC and CNN, and written for the Wall Street Journal and a whole bunch of other things relating to this. And so, I pushed to get an AI ethics committee started at my college within St. John's, and I have spoken now at a conference working against generative AI, and it's just, I think it is existential to higher education, which is what I'm involved in this context, and it's obviously existential to me as a creative, right? Like, as an author, generative AI is awful, and as a professor, as a teacher, generative AI is awful. It's just bad. Not to mention terrible for the environment, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah. So that's how we do these things. Oh God, Prince Justin, so frustrating. And you know what's so frustrating about that too is not a single one of them could explain to you why. Right? Like they wouldn't be like, "Oh yeah, because it's superior," because it isn't. "Oh, well, because it costs less, because it makes mistakes which you have to fix, so it doesn't cost less." It's because they all read the same goddamn magazines in the airport lounges, and they're all like, "You know what's big these days is Gen AI," and then they go and do it. Nonsense, 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 nonsense. Utterly useless. I've also signed an open letter that is advocating for academics to resist this because it needs to be resisted. It's just, awful. I know, it's a good question, right, Echo? Well, no, now it's actually MS Now. For some reason, they changed it from MSNBC, which I just don't, God, no kidding. Or comparing them and being like, well, they said the same thing about the calculator. No, they didn't. Some people said that it's better to be able to calculate some figures in your head, but calculators don't fundamentally aren't intended theoretically to take over what you do. By the way, Gen AI can't take over what you do because it's awful. It's terrible. It doesn't do a good job. But on top of that, and again, and it's also theft. Like in every way, it's plagiar. It just disaster. So, all right, I'm going to close this down. Echo, I'm sorry. Next month, you can try again. Like I said, remember, Tren nominated World of Goo for a year, but he did finally get it through. Nonstop nominated Wizardry 8 for a ton of time, but he did finally get it through. So Kathy Rain 2, Soothsayer's time will come. There you go, Undersquirrel. Yeah. There you go. So that's the third one. So it will be, let me see, it was Flotsam. It was, what was the first? Was it Viewfinder? It was Flotsam and what else? And then Bomber Crew. That's it. Thank you. Viewfinder, Flotsam, and Bomber Crew. 3 good choices. Oh, but did you Effect Life though? Did you see that someone has put together has put together an open source, and it got confirmed multiple times that it's not dangerous. They've like everyone has looked through the code of something which removes, like basically automates the registry tweaks and so on to remove AI, Copilot, and other stuff from Microsoft, from Windows. It's out there. Exactly, Echo. Much better than any one of those. Much better than any, Echo is much better than any AI could ever be, especially generative. Bluck. Human art for humans, people. Human art for humans. Okay. Well, that is going to do it for me for here, but not overall for streaming, because I will be back at the top of the hour, 4 p.m. Eastern, for more Breath of Fire 4. And I am looking forward to that over on my sister channel, GOG Comms Twitch channel, where we'll be going into Pen and Pixels. Exactly, Effect Life. So that's the deal with that. And then, again, as a reminder, Thursday night, we have Gloomhaven. That's going to be myself and my friend Zach Clay doing our monthly Gloomhaven playthroughs Thursday night. And then Saturday is Expedition from the Mysterious Peaks. Next Tuesday, we have the Gamebook illustration stream in the month, again with Tari. Then more Breath of Fire 4. And then Wednesday of next week, we have Community D&D. And then Thursday and Saturday of next week, it is Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. So I am excited for that. It's going to be great. And get your votes in there. Thank you so much to Echo, and thank you so much to Triffid for being Johnny on the spot with these things. Thank you so much as well to the best mods in the business. So yeah, I am very pleased that we had a wonderful conclusion to what is also artistic, and that is the playing of games with each other. Human joy on top of everything else. So one last time, as far as Beowulf is concerned, I want to thank chat for being a part of this. I want to thank Tren Sparks for playing this to begin with. And of course, I want to thank TariToons for being with me the whole time. A wonderful play. I want to thank Handiwork Games for putting out this system. And I want to thank all of you folks for watching as we do this. It was a great enjoyment, and I'm glad to say that Beowulf Age of Heroes is now complete, at least for the moment. Could we return to it in the future? Maybe. But we have put it to a close. Excited to do that. And again, Dragonbane coming next month. But I'm going to rise up on out of here and be back over at GOG.com's Twitch channel at 4 p.m. Eastern. Thank you as always, Big Boss. I appreciate that for being here. Thank you all for being here. If you like what you saw and heard, please follow the channel. Please check out our YouTube with !ArvTube. Thanks for those who followed over there. Thanks, Echo. Discord is !ArvCord, speaking of the Elrond Cord, where you can hang out with the Arvanauts in between streams. Blue Sky is !ArvSky, where you can join me on the micro-blogging platform of choice. And our website for this is arvanelrond.com. Financially, !ArvShop, that's the merchandise area, where you can get stuff relating to the campaigns that we run and also get some cool stuff for you. That supports the channel, as does supporting our Patreon right there. You can get some cool, unique stuff on that Patreon, including epic poems written about you, epic character backgrounds written for you. But to do all that, you need to, before all of that, you need to support the Patreon. And you can get some cool stuff for yourself and for the channel as well. We're trying to build that up into triple digits. Are you going to be on Pandora in 3D? Okay. Enjoy the Pandora 3D experience then, Echo. I totally understand. Let's see. So yes, the Patreon, !Arvtreon. Don't forget to sub to the channel, as several of you did today. That is always appreciated. Get those custom sub badges and emotes to use here, there, and everywhere across Twitch. And that leads us to the publishing, !Icarus, my graphic novel from Athos Arts. !Library is my tales and tomes from the Forbidden Library, my 5e adventure and sourcebook from Alligator Alley Entertainment, which is currently out of print in print form. Thank you for that. It's sold out. But it is available not in print, of course, in PDF over at DriveThruRPG. We are hoping to get a second printing of that out this year, possibly with some other things added on. We'll see. But I'm very excited that that is done as well as it has. Also, the Grey Assassin trilogy you can find at !Greyshade. That is my Greyshade, Renegade, and Heretic. The exactly same trilogy. Greyshade, Renegade, and Heretic, the Grey Assassin trilogy, critically acclaimed, award-winning from Athos Arts. You can get those at that link there. You can also get the audiobooks of Greyshade and Renegade from our very own Trent Sparks, who did the narration, did a wonderful job on those. Heretic, the final audiobook of that series, will be coming out sometime, I think, in the next 4 to 6 weeks. And then you can, of course, use that Greyshade link to pre-order the tabletop role-playing game of Greyshade from our very own Brandon O'Brien, The Rising Tides, also coming out from Alligator Alley in the next couple of months. And as always, !BLM, Black Lives Matter, important to affirm and assert the significance and importance of Black lives. !Help Now, the World Health Organization page on suicide prevention. Important to reach out to others when you need help and reach out to others when they need help as well. And !Ukraine, UKRAINE, to help the people of Ukraine as they fight back against an illegal and illegitimate war with bravery and courage, and send the message we'll do so for others in that situation in the future. Thank you to my wonderful mods. Thank you to Prince Justin, Triffity Matt's best mods in the business. Thank you so much to my wonderful Patreon supporters and subscribers. Thank you to Prince Justin, Triffity Matt's Effect Life, Nonstop, Echo Alpha X5, Imaginary Exponent. Thank you. And thank you to my wonderful viewers. Thank you to Big Boss, to Butthurt Gamer, to Dragon Spear, who's a mod and hanging out. Thank you to Intensely Eric. Good to see you, Eric. Thank you to Jagtress, as always. Thank you to Undersquirrel. Good to see you, Undersquirrel. Thank you to Valerian Gamer, as always. And thank you to Web Purify. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Again, so many thanks to TariToons, my partner in crime with this campaign. Wonderful work with Runesild and Genevieve. And for one last time, chat, I hope everyone enjoys the Beowulf intro/outro video for the last time. Thank you all for that. Thank you again to Nari Elmanen for making this in the first place, this song. Very much appreciate the music. And I will see all you lovely folks next month for Dragonbane. I'll see you over here next week or rather I should say on Thursday for Gloomhaven, but I'm going to see you over on GOG.com in just about 45 minutes for Pen and Pixels and Breath of Fire 4. That's it for me. Thanks everyone, much love, and everyone, as I always say, be good to each other. See you all soon. Then on the strand, with steeds and treasure and armor, their roomy and ring-dight ship was heavily laden. High its mast rose over Hrothgar's hoarded gems. A sword to the boat guard Beowulf gave, mounted with gold. On the mead bench, since he was better esteemed, that blade possessing heirloom old. Their ocean keel boarding, they drove through the deep, and Daneland left. A sea cloth was set, a sail with ropes firm to the mast, the flood timbers moaned. Nor did wind over billows that wave swimmer blow across from her course. The craft sped on, foam-necked it floated forth o'er the waves, keel firm bound over briny currents, till they got them sight of the Geatish cliffs, home-known headlands. High the boat, stirred by winds, on the strand updrove. Helpful at haven the harbor guard stood, who long already for loved companions by the water had waited and watched afar.